Were you ever just doing something, like playing basketball, and you just can't get the ball in? Do you, in easy terms, get pretty frustrated? Did you feel like destroying everything in your sight and rage quit? Or approach positively and persist with a determined mind? Having a brain like that does sound pretty practical in a lot of ways. So what is it? And how do we get one? That's what I'm here to talk about today. About how I developed a mind like that, which helped me face my fears, finally escape from the negative loop of self-doubt, and prove to myself that anything really is possible. I know from my own experience that with positivity, optimism, effort, time, determination, and a genuine interest in learning, anyone, and especially kids, can develop a healthy, positive, and productive mindset, one that can change your life entirely. And the best way to explain how is to share with you my story. Then you can see for yourself that even when things get tough, a positive mindset will keep you going. For the first 3 years of my life, I'd had the living no different from any other people my age. Our family was sufficient in resources, and we were happy. Not long after I turned 3, something in my path twisted. My family was immigrating to Canada. After some packing, I was on the plane before I knew it. I went to preschool and elementary school here in Richmond. When I turned grade 2, something changed again. My Chinese started stammering. And that's when my mom took me back to China to study Chinese from grade 1. The new school was pretty cool. We would always read traditional Chinese poems and articles out loud in class, do tiny projects together, and share our ideas. Whenever someone shared a really good thought or did a really good job, the whole class will shout out slogans like, "You're great," and "We'll learn from you." The entire place also had a much more competitive beat. No one wants to watch as they're being tossed behind as others shoot hundreds of miles away. Under such a spiritual atmosphere, I thrived. I was very fortunate to get excellent grades, good reading and writing, and great calculation skills. Now looking back, I believe that the school used these easy methods to improve our overall learning. Encouragement, competition, tasks and homework, all these kind of elements. They made us use an optimistic mindset to learn with passion and emotions. And that's why I can learn in an exciting and efficient way. I have to admit that they worked pretty well on me. Just as I was doing well and adapting, my English started diminishing. I lost my ease with the language, and I no longer did very well in my tests. So our family decided to go back to Canada, and I can catch up once again. My English and social skills were terrible. I had struggled through the course of grade 3 and 4. I was really frustrated. I couldn't do things efficiently when I was bad to begin with. My parents observantly noticed my unhappiness. They increased the ratio of things I could surf on YouTube, both for my entertainment and to learn. I also attended courses like magic tricks and other interesting classes. Both of them wanted me to unstressfully learn. I improved quickly on language and social skills, and I was optimistic about learning new things. But when I turned grade 5, things changed a lot. The new class was all about elections, politics, climate change, and other projects. Once, we did a hard work report. I remember staring at the ground below my desk as the teacher called my name. I picked up my paper as everyone stared at me with interest, as if it were a test and I was about to fail. I walked up to the front of the room, adjusted myself, and started speaking. But the teacher told me to stop. He asked if it were the second time I did that book. I replied yes, since I could see room for improvement as I was dissatisfied with the first version of work. He told me to go back to my desk and meet him after class. I remember the murmur of laughter as I walked back to my seat. The embarrassment at that moment was almost unbearable, but I refrained from running away. I was really depressed that year. I rarely smiled on a daily basis. Finally, I told my parents about my unhappiness. To my surprise, after listening to my story, they explained that I was the youngest in my class, since there were grade 5 and 6 students, plus the fact that I'm born in December, which means that people in my grade are mostly older than me. These curriculums were clearly above my immature 10-year-old's reach. After this realization, some people in my situation might have just found an excuse to quit, but I didn't give up. At first, I thought the reason why I didn't do well was because I wasn't smart enough, but since that wasn't the case, I gained a little more self-esteem. So, I started doing all sorts of things that will help me improve, like watching election and debating, TED and TEDx videos, reading Canadian history books, going on field trips, and more. To upgrade my empathy and responsibility skills, our family even got us a dog and some other pets. We had so much fun, and that helped me focus on learning new things. I realized that I had developed a growth mindset, a term my teachers would always use. It means the ability to learn skills through effort, time, will, spirit, and positivity. And it wasn't just a growth mindset. There's also a good mindset I got. Unlike a growth mindset, when our skills and abilities do not change through effort and time, our mindset would then most be commonly known as fixed, which is not good. But don't worry, because if you have the traits described above, that's okay. You only don't have a growth mindset yet. Anyone can obtain a growth mindset just like I did. My work wasn't fruitless. By the start of my 6th year at school, everything got better. I got better at socializing, I improved in work efficiency, and I made friends who supported me. I was doing well and becoming popular when I went back to China again. My grandma needs to perform a surgery in Beijing urgently. So there I was, doing it all over again. Even when my mom and one of my Chinese classmates said I was hopeless in catching up, I still found confidence within myself. And trust me, success is 50% based on confidence, 50% actual skill. Even I was surprised when I realized how good I was catching up with the rest of my class in China. I still get excellent grades like before. Soon, I found myself joining the school's English drama club, and I realized that I could use my English to help those who had troubles with the language. I believe that growth mindset helped me go through all of these times that would have been otherwise tough. Through experience, I've adapted to sudden change itself, which can only be easier and easier as the number for me increases. With positivity, optimism, interest in learning, effort, time, and determination, anyone can develop a good and growing mindset, just like I did. My grandma's surgery was successful. After 8 months in China, I was on the plane again. What's different though was that nobody came with me. I flew from Beijing to Canada all by myself. My mom, who was a little worried about me taking care of myself, told the service people to take extra good care of me. But instead of being taken care of, I helped take care of the other kids who were like me on the same flight. They didn't know much about English, so I helped through translating when we arrived. My growth already proved to me that I would be fine taking care of myself. So now when there's other people who need help, I can help with a gesture of ease. This journey wasn't easy. It was only easy after I paid enough effort, time, and passion. A good and growing mindset is the number one companion that helped me through. It's more important than we might realize. First, how do we actually develop a growth mindset? Well, it begins with embracing the challenges life throws at us. It's our instinct to turn away from things we don't like or that we think is too difficult. We convince ourselves we can't do it. But that's just negative thinking. Instead, get out of your comfort zone, embrace the challenges, and see what you're capable of. You'll surprise yourself, and maybe others too. If you're an elementary student like me, then typical challenges might just come from homework. We tend to give up when we get to the part we're not good at. But tell you what, it slowly becomes a tendency, which then becomes a part of our own identity, which is why habits are so hard to get rid of. We don't need to waste our time trying to change bad habits. So let's avoid them before they even become one. It's the same with overcoming challenges. Small good habits are much harder to form than bad ones, but they affect us just as strongly. So next time when we see a challenge, instead of going away and doing something else, we can try it out first, then determine whether we like it from a deeper perspective. Second, find a way to be interested, genuinely interested in what you're doing and learning. If you don't like something and you're getting bored, then take a break and come back later. After all, there are many different ways to look at something. So find the most interesting viewpoint and carry on from there with an open mind. Find what you love, what you give passion for. If something you participate in is not mandatory and you don't enjoy, then you are unlikely to find much use for it in life. Time is irreversible and precious. Try to find a living that most leads to happiness. If you don't know what you love, then keep searching. It's never too late. Thirdly, and finally, be positive. When our mind contains destructive thoughts and beliefs, it's hard to focus on the things we want to get done. Negative thoughts, like hating ourselves, hating others, and hating the world, destroy all our mental strength when we need it. And that can never lead to the development of a growth mindset. So, we need to try to notice when the negative thoughts arise, and then replace them with positive ones. That's the way to begin the type of growth mindset that can turn your life around 180 degrees and help you achieve things you never dreamed of. like standing here on this stage today. And the best news of all, anyone can do it. Time is irreversible and precious. Try to find the living that most leads to happiness. If you don't know what you love, then keep searching. It's never too late. So that is my story and advice about a good and growing mindset. Everyone can be happy and learn with ease. Thank you.